Okay. Testing, making sure everything's working. Seems like it. Okay. Hi! I'm Micah, and welcome to some Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. It's been a while since I last played the game, I know. However, I figured it would be fun to jump back into it. I know we're still pretty early in the game. It's like chapter 3. But yeah. Why don't we just dive in? Alright. I need to... There we go. Yeah, we're in the middle of the investigation. We've got some shit to figure out. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Blue tarp, okay. Is that the only thing we can get from him? Hifumi's big cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's no good. I just don't get it. I can think about it forever, or I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head, probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But they're clean here. Interesting. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that, and why? That's a weird little tidbit, yeah. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice Hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously been a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait, for some reason this one hammer isn't dirty at all and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Yikes, that's kinda gross. Okay, yeah, I still remember the controls. Byakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died. Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
In other words,
then there's no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face wasn't covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kinda dumb. Ladies and gentlemen, canon, that he is very dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
what?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why didn't they bother killing 2 people?
What?
Huh? Because all the rules says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your #1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on, perhaps. I see, so that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. Oh no, what's he gonna get up to now? His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? We all know he's kind of an asshole anyway, so it's fine.
So,
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? Yeah. I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but...
And we came right to the repository to, you know, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked. And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it, and why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there. Ooh, yes. But I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Yeah, that's also true, because there's multiple crime scenes. There are many aspects to the incident this time, too many to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then.
Would you like my help? Yes! Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search, and soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her. Gonna sip some tea. It's peppermint, by the way. It's very nice. I love how warm it is. I love how warm tea is. And the reason for that, especially at the moment, is because it's been really cold lately, and that's just because we're finally getting some rain. And as much as I do love the rain, I love it a lot. I wish it wasn't so chilly. We have had good weather too, though, because my area just is always fluctuating. Meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office. What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... Yeah! Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celestina and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect up on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However...
But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time, because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Oh hey Knives, it's been a while. How are you? Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. Yeah, a lot happened, like, all at once, and it was literally, like, all over the place. I have a feeling that Celeste is totally in on the murders, though. I just don't know how to prove it. But there's gotta be a way that we find that out somewhere down the line, right? Are we hallucinating all this or something? No, we're totally not. It's just crazy. This time Taka's body had disappeared, so from there we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies and we all headed to the repository. And there we rediscovered the 2 bodies that had apparently vanished. Yup. And that brings us up to now.
However,
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. I think we discovered all of the clues. Is it possible to... Only one way in and out of this room, through the door that Hina said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And then the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that certain someone... I don't know. It could either be... I mean, I don't want to say it's Kyoko, because I know that it isn't. Even though she looks suspicious. But I don't know, Celeste was with us. So I don't really see a way that she could have escaped. And, like, left us in a way where, like, we would have... What? I'm missing something? What am I missing? I talked to you. Of course there's security cameras. A surveillance camera. I don't have time to be staring at it. Yeah. Okay. Oh! Okay. This thing. The trolley. Or dolly. It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh, but wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel! There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? Okay. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already know about. First the nurse's office where Hifumi was found, then the equipment room where Taka was found. I mean, I know where the nurse's office is. I don't remember where the equipment room is. I'm sure I'll find it though. Okay. Let me just look around because it's been a while. I think this led to like the physics lab, which had the equipment room. Because it was back here, wasn't it? Yeah, here we go. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Could that blood have come from here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Yup. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. There's gotta be like a secret tunnel. Huh? This tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently, too. Oh. Well, that's because it was probably the same tarp in the repository. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimate rare event. Oh, well... yeah, you're a little weird anyway, so... Oh, by the way, my my text-to-speech should be working appropriately now because of how I have everything set up in regards to playing on PC games. It's just when it's a console game where I'm finding that I need to circumvent still being able to utilize speech or text-to-speech. So, we'll figure that out when I can. For now, I just won't be able to use it while I'm playing on my console games, which is okay, I suppose. Celeste, was she really attacked with this Justice Hammer one? But what the heck is with this thing? A pool table. It's not really related to the case, though. Okay. What is this? Maybe it's just for decoration or something. It's a locker. It doesn't seem especially important. Okay. Alright. I guess I'll go to the nurse's office then. Oh dear lordy. Oh, okay, so the stairs would be this way. Got it! Justice Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. Is that all I can click on other than Celeste? What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes,
Correct.
indeed.
Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone? We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Oh, my cats seem to want to come in. Is there anything I'm missing? A refrigerator... After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek. There's a bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusions, I guess. It doesn't help me, though. I'm not a vampire. Okay. Garbage. It's just a normal trash can. Huh? Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. And it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. Yes, please. What do you want? Probably just to get you a pillow. Hi, squirrel. What's up? Yeah? Is that so? Yeah? It's perfectly fine, you know. Okay. Oh, but it's also covered in blood.
Oh.
Ah, did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can.
Huh?
A cleaning cloth? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important. Yeah, that definitely belongs to Hifumi. So that's all that's there. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship is pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
Okay. So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? I guess I'll find out. Okay, off we go. What, do you want back out now? Do you realize that it's not all that exciting in here? I think so. All I'm doing is playing a video game, cat, which to you probably looks like me staring at nothing for several hours. That probably sounds kind of insane to, or seems insane to a cat. Anyway, right, I was going to Hero's room. Okay. La 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 la, where are you? His room was this way, right? Yeah, here we go. The door is unlocked. I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. But why is it unlocked exactly? Oh, hello! This is Hero's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where do you even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? That's one way of putting it, I guess. It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something and... well, shit. Oh, hello. Something's made out of... it looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster? Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hero's room. But wait. These blueprints. Something about them bothers me. Have the arms bend like this. I hope okay. Is there anything else? The bathroom? I soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy though. How does the bathroom even get this dirty? Well, it gets that dirty if you don't clean it. That's about that. Okay. Makoto, big news! Big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko. What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news. Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? It's Hiro wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. To think Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Yeah, I'd like some explanation as to what the hell is going on. Okay, everyone's over there. Kyoko and...
I mean...
phew, man, I have had the worst day. Hiro? What the fuck is going on, man? Hiro? Yeah, duh, who else would I be? That's a good question. Huh? What? Why do I look like this? What? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati? Please explain.
Right.
I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker? It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean.
I still can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something. How is she supposed to do that when you're... Look... And... No!
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
It's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey.
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind?
And?
First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean...
Oh, well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep, don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up and then I was here. Well, this isn't looking good for you, boss. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me just to look at you. Well, I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. Okay, but then why are the blueprints in Hiro's room? Why was Hiro's room unlocked, considering all of our rooms are supposed to be locked if we're not in them? And even if we are in them... Like... What? We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Phew! Free at last! Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro?
So
More to the
then-
point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
Honestly.
I need to sneeze. Ugh! Sentai, bless me. Whew! Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well.
Is that a
In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true, I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be?
Then it's obvious, the one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the
Good idea, we wouldn't want him killing anyone else. Tie me up? Hold on guys, I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, attacking? Blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them. What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around.
What are you saying?
You're the only one who can wear this costume, so who else could possibly be the costumed attacker?
What the heck?
How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convince me.
Okay.
Or convict me. Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a beat. It should be beat, not bit. Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Huh. See?
See
See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
Yeah, but you're also forgetting all these other bits and pieces that you were talking about. In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again. Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay.
Sugar said, "Is that a Majora's Mask poster? That's awesome."
Oh yeah, totally. It is a Majora's Mask poster. Majora's Mask is one of my all-time favorite games. Against my will, I picked up the pieces of the floor and tried putting pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this.
Just a second.
See, I told you it was impossible. You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But
Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence? You claim there is another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the
Who
worst.
cares? Hiro's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's
Which is
terrible.
how we know it was him. He's not the only one without an alibi, actually. I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone, like, tell me? Oh dear. This is a whole mess. And it's looking more and more like it really was a setup. Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
I certainly did not expect Hiro and Kyoko to show up at the same time. But where has Kyoko been hiding all this time? I have no idea.
Then
Perhaps she really is working for the mastermind. What else would explain her questionable behavior? But you were quite protective of her, yes? That's because she's helped me out so much up until now. If I were the mastermind, that's exactly what I would do to earn your trust. I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
What the heck?
There's no talking your way out of this one. You did it. Everyone knows it. Yeah, calm down, Hina.
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people will care. What's with my tongue today? I can't seem to do words. The fuck? Two people were killed. Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it. I did not. Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed,
How about that?
that's it. I know who did it.
So then.
You may as well tell us then.
Hmm.
Taka and Hifumi were fighting over alter ego, right?
I'm at least
Which means
30%
alter
right.
ego and or Chidori. This isn't Persona 3. Though my Persona 3 VOD isn't actually working correctly right now, which is fun. Though I did contact Twitch support and they're kind of working on it at the moment, so we'll see what comes out of that. Hopefully I don't lose all of the footage because that would be really sad and disappointing because I would really like to utilize it and, like, you know, do what I usually do, make highlights and have fun with it, export it to my YouTube, things like that. But I don't know. We'll see. Which means alter ego and or Chihiro must have done it.
Correct.
I see. That's unfortunate. Huh? Unfortunate?
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh,
I know that note. Note?
um,
Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole. Maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room. Then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So.
No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. What? Really? I told you. Someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage. A chance to escape. Someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay, then show us that note.
Hmm.
With pleasure. I have it right here in my, pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure. Please, you gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? For serious? Poor guy. Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it.
What the heck?
Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hiro. No, it's like I said.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broke, and that's why. Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me.
What are you saying?
Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. If you have time to yell and carry on, you'll have time to search for your evidence, right? Oh, you're right. I need to look for the second suit in that note. Don't fail me now! Or feet don't fail me now. I guess I'd better get back to guard duty. I was going to ask Toko, or Genocide Jack, to switch with me. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. I mean, that's true. She definitely knows how to fight. And I'm not just talking about Sakura. Like, obviously Sakura knows how to fight, but if you've played Ultra Despair Girls, Genocide Jack knows how to fight too, man. One by one, everyone peeled away.
Makoto.
Do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation. It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. To reject me so simply.
Anyway,
I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey,
So Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses. I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey,
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
anyway,
We have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. And then I guess off we go. They're in the repository, and I guess we should head that way for now. Why don't you just... Why does the game, like, automatically go to, like, all these other places when I need to go somewhere? But then here it's like, nah, you can just take over yourself. Like, it's so random. Just... Whatever. It's fine. It's not like it's that far away. It's just, it's weird. It's just weird. Well, here you go. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed... Excuse me. Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment.
so then,
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma fowl was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. Well, that's kinda...
Turbo Blood Sugar
see.
said, "Yeah, I wish the game would take us to the places the characters knew they had to go to. It's on and off when they decide to do it."
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, you would think that they would just make it consistent. Like, either make the person walk on their own, or don't. Like, it's an easy decision to make overall, so why don't you just make the decision rather than do this wishy-washy thing? But, I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I can't really say shit. I'm a player. That's all I can say. Makoto, I found something. You did? You remember the You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did. Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? I mean, I personally really dislike people for the most part, unless they prove trustworthy. So, but Makoto's kind of like an innocent little naive baby. So yeah, he's probably just really fucking oblivious and an airhead. No, that's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch?
So then,
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant, and if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. Wait, so then he would have been the first one to be attacked out of everybody? Am I getting that right? So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6?
that's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey, you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls!
In other words,
So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Yeah, So, does that mean he would... That sounds like he was the first victim then. Because Celeste was attacked at 7 a.m. If I remember correctly. And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto.
Can you try and pry it out? Me?
Because...
Rigor mortis is already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Yeah. Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. See, I can't really say much in regards to like whether or not bodies would be cold, but like the really weird thing about rigor mortis is that however the body was when it just died and no longer moved again, when you're picking it up or touching it in any way, shape, or form, it feels so weird because it's like dead weight, but it's like tight dead weight. Like it just doesn't move unless you move it, which is really, that's a whole other thing. And it's interesting, but it's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist.
I'm cold. Dead bodies feel very cold.
Yeah, I've never touched one without gloves on because I, like, at a job I had to deal with some dead chicken bodies, and it's just, it's weird. It's an experience. A piece of paper?
Hey.
Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
Is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then...
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own. Okay. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse. From the nurse's office, where he was discovered here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. I just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. He was most likely killed using Justice Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office. But when we found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But who would do that and why? So, did you find anything?
Indeed.
I did, more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
That's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see? In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey.
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like... It better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this! A note? I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. Oh!
So...
That sounds very familiar. That's it! It's the same thing Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth.
However...
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door, and here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m., but the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m.
Is that right?
Hold on, just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped. Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully.
Hey.
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
So then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. I mean, it seems like it's the same piece of paper that was in Taka's hand that was just kind of torn.
Hey.
And while we were at it, I should tell you one other thing. The 2 victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them, so the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
Is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. Okay. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind. And that's everything. Time for the class trial.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Okay then.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we'd better get going. Okay. Well, off we go! Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Hello, hello, hello.
He's multiplied?
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm not moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Or, I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma?
Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy,
You're not playing along.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay, fine. Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the plane, train, or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we? Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins. I told you already, I didn't do it. For serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume? Or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. Poor hero. This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the 2 that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed 2 of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. Off we go! I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard... The doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. There's a lot less of us now. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I mean, you can't really go anywhere anyway, so... The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. Oh, it looks a little different in here.
Well, I see all of you have gathered together like this. I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is truly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only 'cause of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
Well, do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats.
And so the curtain opened once again. a deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. Oh my god, we're going through the alliteration again? This is like what, the third time? A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Oh my god. This is why there's some things about this that are so fucking cringe. But it's okay. It's fine.
Blood sugar said, "Oh yeah, Makoto likes to repeat himself."
Oh yeah, and it just never ends. And I still don't have any other skills right now.
Blood sugar said, "It feels like the writers were paid by the word."
Yeah, it really does, don't it? Well, alright, let's just get this over with, eh? See who is the culprit? Though
Let's
I am...
begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you
pick the wrong one,
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one
Yup.
that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Yup.
Now then, to begin with,
We already know who did it.
No, we don't.
was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
That doesn't necessarily... Like, correlation does not always equal causation. We learned this in, like, grade school. Come on.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
You're just overexcited and emotional.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Okay, why are you getting all excited about it?
Who are you calling a murderer?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
Okay, yeah, but again, we shouldn't have been able to even access his room in the first place. So a big question is why we were able to access his room in the first place.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
If Hiro really, is Hiro really the killer? Or, before anything else, we have to make that clear. Yeah, he's definitely not in this case, I don't think. I don't know, it's hard to say.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
Oh,
Excuse me.
hold on a second.
I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awfully messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting... Okay.
Everything we
That
found
makes
in your
sense,
room.
yeah.
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are...
There we go. Shit, it almost didn't make it there.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them. Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
I like how he admits that.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Sorry. I had a moment of speechlessness because he's actually, like, standing up on the same side as me? Like, what?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. And of course he passes it off to me.
Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit, is Hiro.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
I mean, he's actually, like, being useful right now, though.
All things have a proper order.
Yeah, you see?
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Of course. The things that were used to move Taka's body, they must have been... the dolly.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. And the blue tarp.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Yeah, what is with the
So,
attitude, buddy?
let's see if I
Like,
can
come
explain.
on. You wanted me to, like, present this shit,
His
and I
body
did.
Disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository.
I don't think Byakuya knows how to, like, actually have friends. I don't think he knows how to be able to, like, actually respect people and think of them as worth respect, I guess? I don't know. He, like, just comes across as being, like, above it all, and I mean, he was raised to believe that, so I don't know what to say.
And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
I'm absolutely sure.
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
I mean,
That
yeah.
dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Ouch! Fuck you,
We
Celeste.
have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Oh, fuck you. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change her mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Oh god, a new element. Here we go. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements, but from now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Oh, fuck off. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Okay. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with the RMB and LMB buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. But if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be tough.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Oh, okay, I did it. Okay. That was really tense for me. Oh.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread.
I hope that the sound is loud enough for you guys so that you're able to hear the voice acting. I'm a little tempted to turn it up because maybe it's not loud enough, so just let me know if you want me to turn it up a bit, because I totally can.
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway.
I mean, yeah,
It's just
because like
something
we're
we had
like
to get
closer
out
to
of the
her
way.
than we are to anyone
Let's
else
get
right
back
now,
to the
so like
main
what the
subject.
hell?
Yeah, the subject of how
It just makes me think that she's
didn't do
like
it.
involved
'Cause
more
if it's not a
so
killer
than I already
robot,
did.
then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Well, Hiro couldn't move certain parts of the costume. Like, he couldn't move very well in certain parts of it, so makes it hard to do
As
what he
we
needed
know,
to do.
Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
The culprit wrapped the body in the tarp,
Yes.
then loaded it onto the dolly and
Yes.
pulled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle,
No.
all you'd have to do is bend over.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
You can't bend over in the suit. You know that, Hina. You tried it on.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Hina.
Seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Yeah,
Isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
but you can't take off the suit. Once it's on, you can never take it off. You can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Now I bet you feel like a fucking huge asshole. And let me tell you, it's because you were.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
That's also a good
Showing up in
point.
the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
Yeah, there's also that we need to
You all
explain.
got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. Or that's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The
She's
individual
really
inside the
pushing for
suit
this.
And the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Oh my god, Hina.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I mean, yeah,
I
but we
don't
gotta do
disagree,
it.
But our lives are on the line.
Yeah, see?
If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
No choice.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then.
That would be
Let's
nice.
take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
Which means you would have been the
That was when
second
we saw
victim.
Celeste's picture and discovered
Taka
that her
had to have been
assailant
attacked
wearing
at
a
6
strange
a.m.
costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, this strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Yeah! Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
Yep.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
A lot of back and forth. Like, we went all over the place. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time,
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
Oh yeah.
The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
And that's because it is. It's kind of nuts.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from
Okay.
there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now
Okay.
then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of the case, I have to find them no matter what. Okay. Monokuma file number 3. Alright.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
It was definitely before.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
No, that's not true! Oh fuck, I missed.
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
No, 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 no! Fuck, I missed again!
Killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See?
No!
It's obvious Taka came after.
No! The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order? No, they weren't.
So,
No, they weren't.
regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps
Can I
it
hit
was
it?
after?
Am I gonna do it?
We already know what order they were killed in.
No, 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 no!
Taka came last.
Oh, I missed again! No!
what makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the
Come on, come on,
Justice
come on, come on.
Hammers.
Oh no, it's the other one. Okay. Oh, it's the other statement. No, it's the other statement. Okay.
So,
I can do this.
regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi,
Come
it
on.
was after?
Come on.
We already know what order they were killed in.
Oh wait, no, it's not that one either? Shit. What do you mean?
So, regarding Taka's death,
Okay.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Am I forgetting something I need to know?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
Okay.
So it's obvious Taka came after.
Am I missing something?
So, regarding Taka's death,
Let me see. Yeah, I know those. Concentration, fast forward, weak spots. Truth bullets. That's the only truth bullet I have. And like, it's not in this game where you have to like learn how to lie. So, I just have
wonder
to.
if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in.
But.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
It's not true though.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Why doesn't it work? I'm confused.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice
I can
Hammer
only
4.
hit one of those two, but this truth bullet doesn't do anything for it. How do I... Oh, what was it?
Turbo Blood Sugar said, can you grab what order and shoot it at the numbering?
That's what I was thinking of, but I don't quite remember the how to do that. Yeah, it's a silencer. I don't remember how to... Which key would it have been? Yeah, okay, but how do you copy
Turbo
one?
Blood Sugar said, L shift shows controls.
Oh! No.
So, regarding Taka's death,
Is it me? Oh, it's me holding it. Okay.
or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in.
I get it now.
Taka came last.
I think.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Yeah, here we go.
That Hifumi
Now I
was
remember.
killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Yeah, okay. I get it.
So,
I know what I'm
regarding
supposed to do
Taka's
now, I think.
death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in.
No, we don't. Haha! Yeah, here we go.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the
Turbo
same
Blood
order as
Yay.
their numbers.
Hooray.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Yes.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
The wristwatch. What time he must have died. The wristwatch. Oh god, we're gonna do Hangman's Gambit. No. Need an A. Give me an A. Oh, wait, no. It's an I, actually. Then an S. I know how to spell.
Turbo Blood Sugar said, whatever could it be?
Right? It's totally not obvious at all. If you've been paying attention. If you haven't been paying attention, well then you probably wouldn't know.
I got it! Taka's wristwatch! See? Look! It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer, because as of last night,
Hey you, how long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But
Yep.
if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because
It's
when
true.
he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Well, not all of us. Yeah! Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office. And that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
I don't think so.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more confused as to how they moved Hifumi's body, but it seems like there is like an actual secret tunnel somewhere potentially.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
Yeah, that would be useful, wouldn't it?
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
Okay, this might be related to where you were.
If the dead body were to move itself.
Or not.
The dead body moved on its own?
I don't know how to explain what's happening here, or what the logic is for this, but okay.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Yeah, but then why would the body announcement thing go off? Because, like, that only goes off if they're dead, right?
He was alive?
Are you you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? I mean, why else would the glasses be cleaned off from the blood stains? The broken wristwatch might not have anything to do with this. Let's see.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Okay.
And you know that how?
Yeah.
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
Yeah!
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once, but Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time. That's
Are you
right!
saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
Now
there's
which
a
one
chance
is
he was
it?
actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Okay,
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
okay, here we
And you
go.
know that
I think
how?
it might be this statement here.
Surely you heard the body
Coming
discovery
up.
announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Okay, maybe not. And I fucked it up. Oh no. And I lost my last heart. Here we go. Yep, I gotta reset that whole thing. No, don't vote for me. No! Yeah, I'm somehow the culprit. Yep, even though it doesn't make any fucking sense. Yep, goodbye. Yes, I want to give it another
I
shot.
refuse to give up yet.
Let's try that again. I'm not very good at the debates sometimes, if you couldn't already tell.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Hmm.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay, so maybe I have to copy that. I think I have to copy that statement and use it for the other statement. I
Are
think.
you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
there's a chance he was actually
Was
still
it
alive?
tab to like? No, I don't remember how. Okay,
Hifumi
I don't
was
remember
dead,
how to
without a doubt.
speed this up. I
And you know
forget.
that
That's
how?
okay.
Surely
shift?
you've heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Here we go. That's the statement that I needed. Okay, I think. Anyway,
Are you
if
saying
I'm
that
wrong,
when we
we'll find
first
out.
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Here we go. That is exactly what I needed to do. Okay, cool. Figured it out. We are Gucci, my
Was
boys.
the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for
Turbo
Hifumi?
blood sugar.
Of course it was.
Got her.
The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail.
Are you sure?
But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
Okay. Okay, so how many people were there when Hifumi was discovered versus Taka?
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Wait, we did? The second body discovery announcement, the first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room, and the second time was when both bodies were rediscovered?
I got it!
Yeah.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Oh, my headphones. They want to be charged. Do I have a cable nearby? I think this one is long enough. Maybe. Let me see here. Okay, it will be if I get a block, maybe? Hold on. Just have to grab a charger ability thingy for my headset, and then I'll be right back. Right, okay. So I just turned up the headset so I can hear it from here because I don't have a long enough cable to... Oh! I just don't have a cable to, that's long enough to keep it on my head and whatever, so... Thanks to the little demon that decided to join us. Yeah, you like to chew cables. You motherfucker. Cats, they're the devil, I swear. They really are. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. Oops, I was supposed to voice act that. Because I'm trying to voice act Monokuma when I can, because he's the only one that I'm gonna basically try to do. So.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
Oh yeah, that's true. It is fun to imitate his voice. And I don't know if I'm any good at it necessarily, but I'd certainly try.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was never gonna find dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
Sounds good to me.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
Aw, thank you.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Oh hey, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, Hifumi's glasses. It still had bloodstains on it. But then he used an eyeglass thing to clean it off. Of course now you want out when I'm in the middle of something. I'll get to you in a moment, Squirrel.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body,
Turbo blood sugar.
it was in
Thanks
the
for following.
repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
That's a lie. There we go.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi and the nurse's office and the repository.
Turbo blood sugar. Said. Got her off for now, but I wish you luck in the trial. Looking forward to the rest of the playthrough.
Aw, okay. See ya. I hope you have a good rest of your night or day, whatever time it is where you are. Don't know if I'll still be here. I tend to stream for roughly 2 hours, maybe 3, depending, but I hope you'll be able to see the VOD after, considering my last VOD has been having issues, so hopefully this one doesn't. But yeah, see you another time.
His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Turbo blood sugar.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
ISE, yeah.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can was the eyeglass thingy. Or, yeah, that. The cleaning cloth.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
His favorite cartoon
One look
mascot.
at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Yeah, I'm
highly
surprised you
doubt
remembered
anyone
that.
but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
This is true.
This is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
It's true.
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Pretending to be dead.
Yeah, but why would you pretend to be dead? Yeah. Oh, wait, no! The blood packs from the fridge! That's right.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
It's true, he probably did.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. Oh, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's corpse was Hifumi?
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside, which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yeah, which means someone else had to have murdered him, and it couldn't have been Hiro.
I just can't believe it. If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Oh, the note. That note.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
I mean, I didn't mean to, like, hit auto. It's just my hand's itchy, so I'm itching it. There we go.
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's... yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the one I was telling
Excuse
you
me.
about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
Nope.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been...
Taka me Hifumi's pants. I'm gonna say Taka.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Okay,
Just
what?
to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Ugh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Because the rest of us don't understand. Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still. I can't let her get to me. Okay, here we go. What's gonna happen now? Broken wristwatch, Hifumi's glasses, glasses cleaning cloth. Oh god, now I gotta cycle between this shit.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
And that's when Taka was killed.
Doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
I disagree. The time on the note said 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? That's what I need to clear up. So I need the wristwatch. The broken
And
wristwatch.
the person it was intended for must have been Huffy.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter.
It does matter though.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
No, I missed. I missed. Are you fucking kidding me? I missed.
Huffy had the
Okay.
note, right?
Okay, let's try that again.
Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy.
Ay.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter.
But it does.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I did it.
Crispy Candy said, "What crime did you wrong?"
No.
I'm on chapter
absolutely is
3's
a
trial,
connection.
so the one where Taka and Hifumi got murdered and we had to do a lot of running around.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note.
MKAY.
I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that.
No further objections.
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less.
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I mean, it was found in his pants. You'd think that'd be proof enough. No one wants to go down there. But anyhow, Taka did have that piece of paper in his hand, so yeah.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That
Yep.
means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa, yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing.
Oh my
In
god.
fact,
He's not still alive.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
I wonder if it was Celeste that killed him then? Because I swear, it's gotta be Celeste in this one, isn't it? Because I don't know who else it would be.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
Yeah, Chihiro's was really interesting. It was just really sad though, especially in regards to like his complex. And it wasn't explained very well either, to a degree. Because like, at first it comes across as if he's like a trans character, but then later on it's like, no, he's just dressing as a girl because he has this weird complex about being a skinny boy who's weak and emotional. So it's kind of weird.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus.
Aye.
You call it a walrus?
That's an insult.
When they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma
Crispy
file,
candies.
the way
Said,
Taka and Hifumi
"Yeah,
were
but
killed
Mondo
was
and
almost the
his trials
same,
blackened in my
with them
fake
having
characters.
similar fractures and all.
Makes sense, yeah. Mondo is a very interesting character, and I'm sure if I would have bothered to actually seek him out more often and make friends with him, that I would have found or discovered at least some really interesting information. I know I did do some conversations with him. I have all of the previous footage of this playthrough that I've done on my Twitch, as well as on my YouTube channel as well. So either way, you're able to keep track and just kind of get back up to date if you want to. It's completely up to you.
But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
I guess, yeah.
It's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi, the whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. Okay. I guess we'll figure it out. Spotless hammer, okay. That is true. We haven't figured it out what that was for yet.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well,
I don't know why my mouse suddenly just transported itself to the other side of my screen, but
How
K.
was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Okay, no. That was wrong. That's fine. I don't have to be correct on that front.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Oh, jeez.
One thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice...
There we go. Okay, I just had to wait for that statement. Got it.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, There is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Now what are we gonna figure out? Okay, Spotless Hammer again. I'm not sure if that's actually going to be the accurate truth bullet that we need to use.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
I guess I should be absorbing the two people into a bullet and then attacking that with the other statement that comes before it. Okay.
Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible.
Yeah, I'd hit impossible with the statement Kyoko says.
But that only
I think.
really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is...
Okay, yeah, I was right. Cool.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look.
I still think it's Celeste, because Celeste would be smart enough to do that.
Used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan.
It had to have been Celeste, because Celeste always had a way with controlling Hifumi without really having to do anything, because Hifumi is just weird.
And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murderers were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one
Foreshadowing to what she actually is as an ultimate.
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case is unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. And now I have to select someone. I'm pretty sure it's Celeste. Like, hands down. Has to be her.
Here's my answer.
Oh shit, I'm right. No!
Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardon-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? Yeah, encountering the suspicious individual.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
How rude.
As
And he doesn't
said,
even stand up for
only
himself.
Celeste
Like,
and Hifumi
fucking
ever
come
laid
on,
eyes a
Makoto.
costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
I mean, yeah, Celeste is a liar. It's her thing.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen.
Yep.
Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, this strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yeah! Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
It's true. Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You
It's
wanted
true.
to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
I mean, she is a gambler.
Hina,
A professional
you
gambler.
were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Unless she
I see
knew.
what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense, but what is he alluding to? Monokuma file number 3. I don't know if that's related to anything that's going to be said here.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
No, never mind.
Shoot.
Okay.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
Uh-huh.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I don't know. When she said that, she should only have known about Hifumi's death. With that in mind, okay, so I need to copy the those guys statement.
They must really be enjoying this.
I think.
Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this.
Okay.
It's obvious,
I think
isn't
I'm
it,
doing this
what
right.
was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Those guys. So then am I supposed to break the those guys with the so strange?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused.
Okay. Oh
They
shit.
must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's
Okay.
all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay, I think it's the so strange, and then I have to hit the those guys died, I think. Hopefully I'm right.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this.
Oh, I need to move my foot, it's falling asleep.
The sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imagination.
Oh
You
dear.
claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And
But you're the only one who fits in the
Let's use the
suit,
camera's timer,
Yasuhiro.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything
But what
I
if it's
told
just
you
a
was
picture
lie,
of him using
how
like an
can this
empty
picture exist?
robot costume to make it look like he's being dragged away?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is... Hifumi is dragging the suspect away?
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
that's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? I don't know, let's find out. Robo Justice costume, Yasuhiro's message, Robo Justice blueprints. Okay.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling
Oh wait,
idiot
the
is
blueprints.
after all.
No way!
It's the blueprints. If I remember right, Hina said, she said that she couldn't bend at the waist. Yeah,
You dressed me up in that suit
it's the
after I
blueprints,
passed
and then
out.
it's with that one statement that I tried to hit, but I was a little slow.
Him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Oh shit. Your meaningless words tire me. Okay, so that wasn't it.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out.
Maybe the
Then you just
Robo
draped me
Justice
across Hifumi and had
costume?
him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I just had the wrong truth bullet, but I had the correct statement.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Couldn't bend at the waist, motherfucker! You totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
She doesn't like that we're catching
Well
up.
then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate? Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? So clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
She's getting real upset. Hey Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Damn, she's like super angry.
Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Okay, that last little threat probably isn't like the best thing to be making right about now, considering the situation you're in.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He said for serious a lot. He said people's last names. He gave everyone nicknames. I think he said people's last names?
I got it!
Okay, yeah.
That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
Okay.
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
It's true.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well,
She's very offended.
do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
That's a good
Make
question.
sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg.
Yeah.
Would you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. Right, okay, how's that gonna go? E-handbook, spot... Oh, the e-handbook. That would do it, wouldn't it?
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name.
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name
Ew. Like how it's upside down.
Go on pretending.
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
That's not true. Your e-handbook would tell us. Give us your handbook.
That's it! The handbook!
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
So just show us your e-handbook and it'll be fine, right?
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
I mean, I don't think you have any right to privacy given the situation right now.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then.
Oh, okay.
Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll
Okay,
bring
cool. So now
everything
we're
to an end.
basically at the closing comic, right? Right? Yeah, closing comic thing. In this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? There, it's showing the chips. Or maybe, oh, actually, the camera, maybe. What time did the killers call their victim to the rec room? That's not it. That says 1 o'clock. And then that's 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. There we go. Yeah, because it's for Yasuhiro. Who was it that the killer summoned first? Yasuhiro. They shove him in the suit. They knocked him out, then stuffed him in the robo-suit to falsify their evidence. And they used a certain item to do it. Oh, so then that's not where the camera goes then. What's the chips then? The chips, maybe? I don't know. What time was Taka supposed to head to the equipment room? Which would be this one. The Justice Hammer that was used to kill Taka, what number was it? Number 4. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. That I don't know at the moment. Which Justice Hammer was in the nurse's office when Hifumi was pretending to be dead? Fuck! I don't think I remember. I think it was Justice Hammer 3. Hifumi used something to move Taka's body. That was this thing. The weapon the killer used to murder Hifumi, what was it? The cleaned off one. The library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. That would have been this Justice Hammer. So I think this is all correct.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
No, okay, so that first one is wrong. God damn it.
The killer is... you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out...
The person was Hifumi, yeah.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Damn, these animations for the comics are pretty damn good.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi.
But really, it was for Taka, who was already
He left
dead.
the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room.
Excuse me.
He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste. Our beautiful, lying, gambling beauty.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor.
I, Celestia Ludenberg.
Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko.
Taiko?
Taiko.
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Well, I was doing pretty damn good, I'd say.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin.
Her voice is so
Or,
different, too.
No. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
He really, really gets a lot of enjoyment from this, doesn't he? I want a Monokuma plushie, to be honest. Goodbye, Celeste. You certainly were more entertaining than all of the others.
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The blackened this time, the true killer whose devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all of my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan? But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would happily agree to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her speciality, lying. My speciality? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, you know... I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here.
I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right. And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. Oh, what are you doing here?
Actually...
I was hoping I could talk to you. Alone. It's about what was stolen. I know who did it. What?
Are you okay
It was
with
Taka.
this?
He stole it. What? And I have
then-
proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him! But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You were correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say
What?
As for
Please
me,
forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for
He
me,
came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
Oh, damn, you're lying about that? Fuck you, Celeste. You can die and go to hell. That's cool. I have no remorse now. What? And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice. That's a crime, an absolute crime. I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him. Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target. Escape? You don't mean. Taka is going to try to kill you. What?
indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself. That bastard. Bastard, 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 bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? I have to save her!
Actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. Well then. And with that, it is complete. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming he would actually let him live?
Are you okay?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead when someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he was just barely holding on. And he really believed that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have had an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end,
So you had planned to kill him all along? But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
don't be mean.
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder.
No,
about
he
that.
derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape. But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here. Obviously that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here. I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
Isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. You know, that's not a bad dream to have, just saying. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Okay, yeah, I can get behind this. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh.
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing. That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes,
That's
indeed.
right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it
I
wonderful?
think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey.
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The Blackened disturbed the peace and must pay the price. Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment for her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Off we
Guess
go.
I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why, actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
I'm also, like, I'm actually legit sad that she's dying and that, like, you know, she committed a murder. Because she's honestly a really great character. She's the one we befriended most of the time during the free time events, too. Oh, she's gonna burn like a witch. Okay, cool. The burning of the Versailles witch. Gosh, I just love all the different animations that they do for this, because, like, it's well done. Okay, this is a whole shebang, ain't it? She's gonna get okay, gonna get hit by a fire truck while she's also being burnt alive. Yeah, that's a whole thing right there, ain't it? Okay then. Ooh, excuse me. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and...
Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die. You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna
Jeez,
do?
and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided.
Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you going to make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste? So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Wow! Oh man! Oh jeez! Oh man! Oh jeez! What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here. Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
See ya!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers. What? Then that means Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Huh. Do what you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw... Good morning! It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I'd never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow? I'm doing my best, so please wait just a little while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me. What are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
You...
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know. That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then,
That's fine.
fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she'd told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back... She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? I guess we'll find out. It's just a normal storage closet as far as I could tell. The secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? She said it was way in the back of the storage closet, but I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly, as if I were being yanked in... Ugh! At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Ba-dump! I'd fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door, and I'd made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet, and way in the back of that closet, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? A lot of stuff, I imagine? There's a bunch of files and what look like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy student registry. This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said, like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Uh-oh. A strange sound rang out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth, and then darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. But now everything's gone. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone! The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. Well, shit. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back toward my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. Ugh. The farther I walked, the more I felt things were getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint but undeniable. That sound, it's coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym? I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Oh, they're fighting! Why? Before me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. One side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this?
How dare you defy me?
This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat. No longer compromise. No longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be the mastermind spy is... Next generation legend, stand tall galactic hero. That's the end of that. Now there's only 7 of us left.
Indeed, it will be continued.
You've received the Super Robo Justice present. Save data? Yeah. That's what's gonna be all for this, though. I really enjoyed my time streaming with you and being able to play through more of Danganronpa because, well, I need to play through this game before I can finish this, like, play through the next game and then do the final game, right? Because I want to play through the series, and I may or may not play Ultra Despair Girls as well because I do technically have that game. So, I don't know, maybe I will play that game because I think I'd have to look at the timeline to see like where the games are placed because I'd like to be able to play them appropriately in regards to the timeline. So, yes, I think that would be fun. Anyway, I hope to see you next time. All right. Bye.